Hello, yeah, we just figured out an area where it crashes. Okay, I'm gonna try this on my MacBook, so I'm not crashing my streaming PC for like no reason. I'm gonna see if it crashes on my MacBook as well, just to see that it's not like Windows specific. But yeah, there we go. See, I told you I went off-road. I went exactly that spot with my car. That's when it crashed. So I don't know, something fishy overloads the VRAM there. But what? Okay, I'm gonna go there with my you guys hear me, right? You're all back, yeah. Okay, let's see if it crashes. I don't know, sometimes when shit crashes, my microphone breaks and stuff. I'm gonna go there. Oh! It happened on my Mac as well. It happened on the Mac. Yeah, there's something's hiding under there that's causing something's happening under those rocks. The meshes. Yeah, it's something, seeing the underbelly of the mesh causes instant crash. Oh, dude, speaking of like networking issues like that, when I transitioned from Photon Bolt to Photon Fusion, I had the craziest bug. I was almost like giving up on the transition. So going from Bolt to Fusion, there was like 3,500 whatever errors that had to be fixed, because I'm using all like these Bolt specific methods, and I had to like transfer those UI things over into like written RPCs and stuff. Everything was going like insanely smoothly. I spent like 4 days and I was done with the errors. And then I was testing. And for some reason, and to this day, I still don't understand. I still don't understand. The network states on the player character just weren't replicating. They were not getting sent from like client to server or whatever, server to client. They just weren't getting sent at all. Everything else was getting synchronized. And there was no difference between the way I was doing it on the player character or the enemies. And I still don't understand why this works, but I literally just made a new class meant to only hold the data of the player and set that to be synchronized, and then it started synchronizing. But I spent like 3-4 days trying to get that working. I did so many things. I was like, okay, well, I renamed the class. I shift around the values so they were just synchronized as raw values, not as like this, state struct. I did like every single thing you can imagine. I downgraded the Photon Fusion version. I upgraded the Photon Fusion version. Every single thing you could do, I did. But what fixed it for some ungodly reason was creating a new class and synchronizing the values from there. Even though I'm synchronizing them the exact same way I was synchronizing them earlier. Absolutely mind-boggling. Well, that's the thing. I'm saying though, like before or after saying the values and stuff, I made sure like I'm not touching any of the values. Like any of those values they're not getting touched at all before, like, I'm ensuring that it's fully spawned before modifying any of the values. I was like debugging to ensure that None of the values were getting touched. Didn't matter. I just moved. The way I accessed the values stayed exactly the same as before. Everything stayed the same. The only difference was that the values were now contained in a separate class. That's the only difference. Everything else stayed the same. Completely absurd. Completely and utterly absurd to me. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out. I don't know. The thing is, it's like a black hole right now, because once I approach the event horizon of going under the mesh, that's when it crashes. So how do I capture the data on my MacBook for what causes the crash? You know, all information disappears the moment the crash happens. Is there a way to access profiler data after crash? Access profiler data after crash, Unity. The inventory is sent, and that's fine. The client gets it, and the inventory works. But then you move something, no update, rejoin doesn't update, UI, restart the game, now it updates once until the next full restart. So you're saying stuff only updates when you restart? But the thing is, you also wonder, like, is it some weird implementation on their end, or did you just majorly screw up somewhere in your code? It's somewhere and it has to do with local net props, aka props only the owner gets. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest struggle for me has been sort of this, like, adding and removing authority over rigid bodies. Because, like, in my game, you're supposed to, like, be able to grab on to rigid bodies and have that synchronized. That shit's a mess. And honestly, the way I implement it is just plain incorrect. Like, I'm doing all kinds of friggin' cheats that make it completely not one-to-one, but it feels one-to-one enough for it to be okay. But luckily, it's not about precision physics. It's about, you know, the aesthetic. It's more like human fall flat. So, like, you physically grab on, creates like a joint between you and the game object. I mean, the way Human Fall Flat does it is it doesn't even have any client-side prediction. It just syncs the entire friggin' state of everything. Which I wish I could do, but I can't because it's a shooter. And also it just doesn't feel good when you have like insane delay from input. But Human Fall Flat is so slow paced, it doesn't matter. I mean, I know there's this one game just recently released on Epic Games, I think. Epic Games... It's not Lego. Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. Paratech? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if it's this one, but I don't think so. There's a game where they're running the physics simulation on these like Epic Games servers. So the physics are running on like a dedicated supercomputer essentially, and then gets synchronized to all the different clients. And that way they can have like these super high fidelity physics networked. Between players, but that obviously is not something I can do either. I don't have a friggin' I don't know what the game was. There was a trailer for it recently. Okay, I don't know how to figure out how it crashes. Like if I go into the scene in my editor, oh, it's the wrong springs. But it makes me wonder if there's like some mesh or something that's there that's just, you know, when you look at it, it just breaks your computer. I've had that happen in another game where if the mesh left the sort of left the area for light probes, then all of a sudden the then the game crashed, basically, because it was like updating with every single light probe. I don't know how they implemented it, but that was on Unity's end. That was a weird thing. I just made sure my guys never left the light probe area, but okay, it seems like if it's not in play mode, not necessarily doing anything weird. Wait, what the fuck is this? I mean, there it shoots up. But there's something about like I just wish there was a way for me to track the okay, I mean there it shot up, the memory used, but I don't know if it's touching it or if it's looking there. I'm gonna go there. I'm looking to see if it crashes if I look at it with my scene view camera, but it's not. Doesn't seem to crash. Wait, what's this? The Unity collections has been deallocated. Is that what could happen? Resolve Gizmo recast occlusions. No. Oh, wait. It's leaking. Okay, okay. There's something that starts like smearing on the screen. But I don't know what. And it wasn't the editor and it didn't crash. Let's see here. But where is it? Like there's something like that that overexposes. I think it might be, maybe it's like bloom related. Ah, there it happened again. It happened when I resized the screen. Okay, okay, I can see it. So it shows up. I'm gonna take a screenshot and send it on the Discord. Something. Like what I see when I look under here is I get this sort of overflow, right? I'll send it in Wild West. If you're on the Discord, you can see the thing I'm talking about. I don't know, maybe I could oh, but there it shoots up. Window, can I see the... Yeah, but you see it's some sort of overload, at least. It is... That's what I'm seeing when I'm looking under that mountain. And I think that's what's part of the problem for the leak. Analysis, frame debugger. Yeah, oh, right, this one debugs the frame of, can't do game object. Shit, I can't debug the frame of the editor window? Wait. when I disabled the mountain, it worked. It can't be just the mountain, can it? No? Okay, there it's back. Trying to see what it is, but it's literally just when my there's some leak, but I don't know what's leaking. The fuck, dude? Window analysis frame debugger. Yeah, that's how I felt with the previous bug I had too. With the player sending data. It's like I learned nothing. Alright, let's see here. Clear camera, dispersion canvas. That's weird. This shit's gnarly, dude. I mean, okay, wait. Uh, why is it rendering it twice? That's weird, dude. It's a huge discovery, but also like at the same time, no discovery. Like the camera, I move the camera in the scene view to be like I move it to the location where the shit goes down. And the frame debugger shows one time it renders the camera. Wait, window. Window analysis. I think it's just showing it. No. Okay, never mind. I was off. I think it's fine. I still don't understand why. Oh, spooky. I'm gonna look particle system. I'm just gonna disable every single particle system in the world. No. Yeah, I mean it's feels like it's impossible to track down those errors sometimes. I'm gonna do binary search. I'll see if that does anything. No, okay, yeah, I mean it doesn't really cull anything, does it? Hey. Oh, actually, I probably could do a binary search in a way. We'll do this. I'm gonna do like I disable half the objects. Okay, and now it doesn't happen. But if I enable half the objects, now it does happen. Okay, okay, we're onto something here. We can find out what object is doing this to me. This is why I did computer science. See here, go up halfway. Still there. Okay. We disable the road system. No, it's not the road system. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't ever want to do not games. I think it's the terrains. That could make sense, actually. Self-taught. I did like computer science in university, but I never did any game development in like a professional setting or in any sort of area where anyone taught me anything. I started just I think my first introduction with programming was just raw Python. Um and then I was just I don't know, I looked up ways to like render 2D graphics in Java and I was working with Java Swing. And then not too long after that I started just Unity and then it's been Unity ever since. I have not used the C# patcher, but I don't know. I've never used C# outside of Unity, so I don't even know what I'm missing out on supposedly. But I've been doing Unity. I mean, I first bumped into Unity back in like probably 2013 or something. But I released my first Unity game in 2018, I think. And then first one on Steam in 2020. And then this game that I'm working on now, Penguinized, I released in 2021. And now I'm working on the spin-off. Hello, František. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. We'll see. Maybe this Penguin Springs thing does even better. I think it's less of a niche thing like heists. You know, not everyone wants to do heists, but I think like living a life simulator and doing whatever you want is a bit more broad appeal. And it's also sort of my dream game in a sense. You know, wanting to do like this deep, in-depth simulation of a world, I think is something that's always been appealing to me. Think so. It is terrains. I'm pretty sure. I'm working on Penguin GTA, but right now I'm trying to resolve this crash that I've been getting. Which we just sort of figured out the cause of, but I can't show it on the streaming PC. I'm just doing it on my MacBook right now. Wait, maybe it isn't the terrain. SCPRP? I have never gotten in contact with that, no. Is that on Gmod then, or? Oh, okay. Wait. Interesting. Wait. I think I'm one step closer to it. That's interesting. Yeah, it's related to, I think it's related to like these mountain meshes. I think they're like corrupt or something. I think it's being fed. Yeah, because in the Blender import here, it's like basically freezing. Wait, I'm gonna try something. Oh, hello, Stream Hub World. That's weird. What the fuck? I'm 26. So yeah, I was like 13, 14 when I did Unity. It was the friend I'm working with right now. He and I, we were sort of dabbling in game development, so we just sort of got interested in that. Yeah, no, it's I'd spend time just like in the library making random ass projects like for these, you know, Space Invader-ish games. But it wasn't until I went to university that I really started taking it more seriously, but I had always sort of been comfortable with the idea of working in Unity. Okay, I don't know exactly what's happening here, but dude, this is so weird. I don't even know if it's the like if I disable everything else, maybe it's not the mountains. Nah, it's still. Could it be the clouds? And the clouds are still rendering. I mean, as long as the mountains are around and I toggle between views, it leaks the same way. The only thing staying consistent is the that is weird, dude. So is there like some issue with like the merge? Like what's causing this? This entire mountain is just like so okay, I can point to the actual issue. It's this mountain here, but I don't think it's just that mountain, but it might be just that mountain. There's another mountain right there, but that object is causing issues for me. But the details of the like the mesh, you see, there's no difference in the settings there. And the mesh filter just contains the mesh itself. And the mesh collider is also the same. But it's not convex though, or what? I'm showing the like the cliff and the mountain. So you have like mountain, cliff. These are sort of in the same area there. But the cliff is not resulting in any issues, or is it? Maybe it is. I'm gonna check one thing as well. If I disable the volumetric clouds. Oh, yeah. The issue was not the mountains. The issue was the volumetric clouds. That's what it is. Which makes sense. I don't think the volumetric clouds are necessarily supported. You know what? I should have expected as much. Yeah, I think maybe there's something about the way that the ordering of the rendering or something. It's I'm gonna disable the clouds. There we go. No volumetric clouds. And then I'm gonna dare to go there again. I'm gonna do it, guys. The stream may crash, but this is for science. I don't know. I think there's some like I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some weird depth issue or something that creates like an endless loop or whatever in the renderer, shader, script, whatever. I don't know. I didn't implement the clouds myself. It's volumetric clouds that are made by Enviro. I'm using their rendering system for like simulating realistic day-night cycles. But we're gonna go over there and we're gonna see if the game crashes. I wasn't getting those weird visual artifacts the moment I disabled the clouds. So, you guys ready? This is no crash.